Homeless girl froze when the biker's daughter stopped breathing. What 300 Hells Angels did next. The winter wind cut through the streets like a blade. Snow had been falling since morning, thick and heavy, coating sidewalks, cars, and forgotten corners of the city. People hurried past with their heads down, collars raised, pretending not to see the girl sitting near the old bus stop. Her name was Lily. She was 14 years old, homeless, thin as a shadow, wrapped in a torn gray jacket that was 2 sizes too big. Her fingers were red and cracked from the cold. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. Her mother had died 2 years earlier. Her father, she didn't know where he was anymore. The street was all she had. Lily survived by watching people. Learning their habits. Who might spare a coin? Who would shout? Who would pretend she didn't exist? She had learned one important rule: don't get involved. Because getting involved had always made things worse. That was why, when she heard the roar of engines, her body stiffened. Not one engine. Not 2. Dozens. The sound echoed down the street like thunder. People turned their heads. Shop owners stepped outside. Snow vibrated on the ground as motorcycles rolled in, big, powerful machines, chrome shining even under the gray sky. The patches on their jackets were unmistakable. Hell's Angels. Lily's heart dropped. She'd heard the stories. Everyone had. She pulled her knees closer to her chest, lowered her head, and hoped they wouldn't notice her. But then she heard a scream. Dad. It came from near the lead motorcycle. Lily looked up before she could stop herself. A little girl, no older than 6, had fallen off the sidewalk into the snow. She was wearing a pink coat, her tiny boots sinking into the white ground. Her face was pale. Her lips, blue. The biker who rushed to her side was massive. Tall. Broad-shouldered. His beard was streaked with gray. Tattoos ran down his arms like armor. But when he picked up the child, his hands were shaking. Emma, he said, panic cracking his voice. Emma, baby, look at me. The girl didn't move. She didn't cry. She didn't breathe. Everything stopped. The engines died one by one. 300 bikers stood frozen in the snow. Call an ambulance, someone shouted. I already did, another yelled back. The man held his daughter tighter, terror flooding his eyes. She's not breathing. Somebody, please. Lily's stomach twisted. She knew that look. She'd seen it once before, when her mother collapsed in their apartment. When adults stood around, shouting, panicking, doing nothing. Lily stood up without realizing it. Her legs trembled as she stepped forward. Every instinct screamed at her to run. But her feet kept moving. I can help, she said. No one heard her. She raised her voice, louder this time. I know what to do. Silence fell. 300 bikers turned toward her. Lily froze. Fear hit her like ice water. The man holding the child stared at her. His eyes were wild, desperate. You, he said. You're just a kid. I've done CPR before, Lily said quickly, her voice shaking. My mom. I tried to save her. The words hurt, but she forced them out. Please, she whispered. Let me try. For a moment, no one moved. Then the man knelt and gently placed his daughter on the ground. Do it, he said. Please. Lily dropped to her knees in the snow. Her fingers were numb, but she remembered the steps. She placed her hands carefully on the little girl's chest. 1, 2, 3. She pressed. The crowd held its breath. Snow fell softly around them. Come on, Lily whispered. Please. She tilted the girl's head and gave 2 breaths, just like she'd been taught at a free clinic months ago. Nothing. She pressed again. 1, 2, 3. Her arms burned. Tears blurred her vision. Don't you dare, she whispered to the child. Not today. Seconds felt like hours. Then. The girl coughed. A sharp, sudden sound. Her chest rose. She sucked in a breath and began to cry. The sound shattered the silence. She's breathing, someone shouted. The father collapsed forward, sobbing openly as he pulled his daughter into his arms. Oh God, oh God. Lily leaned back, shaking. She had done it. Before she could stand, she felt something warm wrap around her shoulders. A heavy leather jacket. She looked up to see the father standing in front of her, eyes red, face wet with tears. "You saved my daughter," he said. "What's your name?" "Lily," she said softly. He turned. Every biker was watching. "This girl," he said, voice steady now, "just saved my child's life." Something changed. One biker removed his gloves and handed them to Lily. Another draped a scarf around her neck. Someone placed a hot cup of coffee in her hands. "You're freezing," a woman said gently. An ambulance arrived moments later. Paramedics checked the little girl and nodded. "She'll be okay," one said. "You got to her just in time." The father turned back to Lily. "Where do you live?" he asked. Lily hesitated. "I don't." The word hung in the air. 300 bikers heard it. The men didn't ask questions. He didn't look away. "Then you're coming with us," he said. That night, Lily slept indoors for the first time in months. Not on the street. Not under cardboard. In a warm room, wrapped in clean blankets. Over the next weeks, everything changed. The bikers didn't disappear. They paid for Lily's medical checkups. They enrolled her in school. They helped her get clothes, food, books. One of them taught her how to ride a bike. Another helped her study for exams. And the little girl, Emma, called Lily her hero. 6 months later, Lily stood on a stage at her school, accepting an award for bravery. In the crowd sat 300 bikers, leather jackets polished, standing when her name was called. People stared. Whispered. But Lily didn't care. She smiled. Because she knew something the world often forgot. Sometimes the scariest-looking people have the biggest hearts. And sometimes, a homeless girl in the snow can change hundreds of lives. Just by choosing not to look away.